Real Estate Counselors presents foreign investment in U.S. properties. Issues to consider. Today speaking, we have Phillip Blackmon with REC, and Jonathan Babu, an international tax manager with CBIZ.
Hello, hi, I'm Phillip Blackmon. I'm an attorney with Real Estate Counselors, which is a real estate boutique firm with offices in Metro DC region and also in New York City. We focus on all aspects of commercial real estate transactions, from acquisitions, dispositions, leasing, finance. And today we're here with Jonathan Babu to talk a little bit about implications of real estate investing for international investors in U.S. real estate. And Jonathan, if you tell us a little about yourself.
International tax manager at CBIZ, which is a nationwide accounting and consulting firm. We handle tax, benefit issues, insurance, all kinds of issues for our clients. And we're based around the country. I work in our Bethesda office.
And so what I wanted to talk about a little bit today is kind of the aspects, considerations for an international investor in U.S. real estate. And some of these, of course, Jonathan, are the same thing that any investor in U.S. real estate would have, which is, entering into a purchase and sale agreement, evaluating tax structuring and vehicle structuring, how they're going to invest in that real estate, as well as due diligence concerns, title survey, environmental concerns, are all aspects that one would consider in investing in U.S. real estate. But for the international investor, there are a number of other considerations which are largely tax-driven, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about those.
Sure. So, like you said, you layer on top of the domestic concerns the international aspects, which include you want to think about, what does the investor want to do? Is the investor looking to be an active participant? Does it want to manage the operations? Or are they looking for some kind of return on investment, looking to collect rents, gain on disposition, that sort of thing? If you have someone who's participating in the operation of the business, of the real estate business, that person's going to have a trade or business in the U.S. They have to file a U.S. tax return. They're exposed to the IRS and the U.S. tax system. Generally, what we find is people don't want that. They want to make a passive investment and collect income. So, just at a basic level, you have a foreign investor who's investing into real estate directly. That person, when they receive rental income, the rental income is subject to a 30% gross basis withholding tax, which means the whole payment. There's no offset, no deduction. The whole thing is subject to 30% withholding. If there's a sale of the property, there's a special regime that the U.S. imposes that says that person will pay tax on the gain and will also have to file a tax return in that situation. So, and there's disclosures, there's withholding on the purchase. So what we try to do is set up structures or use tax treaties that will mitigate some of the taxes, will shield the investor from the return filing requirement. We can also look at, sometimes you have investors who want to participate in the appreciation of property but don't necessarily want to actually own it. So you can use things like shared appreciation mortgage, which gets around some of these tax rules. You can own through various types of entities like trusts. You have to decide whether you want them to be in the U.S. or outside, if they're going to be tiers of entities. All these things you can use to sort of mitigate the tax requirements and the filing requirements, which are usually the big deterrents.
Okay, and that's all good to know. And one of the things that we've all seen in the current political climate is that a lot of these rules are in flux. Or there's some things out there that you currently see that could be shifting in the next year or so.
Right. Right. One primary driver of that is how quickly Congress and the White House move on revising the rules or doing a wholesale tax reform. That's, like you said, it's in flux. Nobody knows what's going to happen. People are concerned, I think. The IRS for the past few years has been very aggressive in international tax enforcement. It's been more on the aspect of U.S. persons who invest overseas, but they're also looking at foreign people investing in the U.S. So that will continue. The IRS commissioner is leaving, but they've staffed up their international enforcement arm, so that that's going to continue for some years to come. So that's something to keep an eye on. For sure.
These could include anything from carried interest to estate tax and
Right. And so it's interesting with carried interest. I mean, we've been talking about it for years, about how it seems like a fairly easy target for reform, and it's a revenue raiser to get rid of the benefit, but for years it's always been put off. It never gets far enough along to actually go into effect. I saw it in the New York Times recently. So if it's appearing in the mainstream media, you get a sense that it's kind of on the, it's in the, it's not long for this world, I guess.
Radar,
it's sort of the way I would put it. But when it would happen, it's still kind of a mystery.
Great. Well, thank you for that. And just as full disclaimer, these are just an evaluation of real estate and tax issues. There are a number of other issues out there, regulatory, immigration issues, and other items that would need to be considered. And with that, thank you very much.